I'm going to be showcasing my completed first edition Team Rocket holographic set that is all graded PSA 8 or 8.5. And the Team Rocket set is a really interesting set for a couple of reasons. One, because when Nintendo made the set, it is basically the bad guys Pokemon. So I remember when I was a little younger that I didn't really have a whole lot of Pokemon cards. I was mostly into Yu-Gi-Oh! But I did have some Rocket Pokemon cards, and I remember not liking those cards very much because they were, the cards or the Pokemon of the bad guys. So it was interesting that Nintendo decided to go that way. It's kind of seeming from the beginning that it was a flawed idea because, no one wants the bad guys stuff. Everybody wants to, cheer for the good guys. So when you're younger, you obviously want the Pokemon that, the main characters, the good guys use. And so it's still kind of funny because even now, among adult collectors, the Rocket set still is one of the most or one of the least valuable of the vintage Wizards of the Coast sets. Those Rocket holographic cards, they just go for quite a bit less than a lot of the other sets like Fossil and then even like Gym Challenge and Gym Heroes that did come later. Because none of these cards in the Rocket set are the first printing of these Pokemon. Um, Everything had gotten already printed in base set, jungle, and fossil. So we're just going to go right into it now. And here is the Dark Alakazam. So as you can see, every one of these cards is going to have Dark before their name. It's basically just the Pokemon, but it's the Dark version, the Team Rocket version. And then they even used the Rocket logo as the set symbol here to really clarify that these are Team Rocket's Pokemon. Then the Dark Arbok, which this comes in a W Wizards of the Coast gold stamp as well. And then the Dark Blastoise. And one of the real unfortunate things about the Rocket set being valued so low is that a lot of the artworks with the cards in this set are just really good. They look really well, and like this Dark Blastoise. This artwork I prefer much more than the base set artwork. It's just so much more going on and so much more detail into it, whereas the base set artwork of Blastoise is very generic and very basic, very plain. And then the big boy, the Dark Charizard. The Charizard artwork maybe not the greatest. This is probably one of the least favored, least valuable Charizards that there are, but it's still, Wizards of the Coast first edition holographic Charizard, so everybody wants it still. Especially those Charizard collectors. And then Dark Dragonite. Again, not the best Dragonite artwork, but still not terrible by any means. Then you get into some new stuff, like the Dugtrio here. I believe this is the first holographic printing of Dugtrio. Kind of interesting, too, that it's burrowing from underground inside what seems to be a house or someone's room. Then Golbat. Gyarados here. And then this here is my favorite card out of the whole set, the Dark Hypno. The artwork on this just looks so great. There's so much going on with the eyes in the background that are the hypnotic eyes. Then this checkered purple and black pattern in the background here, while the Hypno is swinging his medallion as a hypnotizing spell or whatnot, or trying to cast a psychic attack. This is just really cool artwork, and you can compare this to the Fossil Hypno, which the Fossil Hypno was the first printing of Hypno, and it's just very plain and generic. It's Hypno standing there, and then it's a purple background, and that's it. And then you compare it to the Rocket Hypno, where there's just so much more going on, and this artwork is just really amazing, I think. Then you got the Dark Machamp here. Another really good artwork, I think. The Dark Magneton. Grading this card is incredibly difficult because there's so much of this card that's just holofoil, the surface of it here, that you can get scratches on this card very easily. And getting a high grade on this card is one of the hardest cards to get a Gem Mint 10 on as far as the Rocket set. And we've got Slowbro. And then you can even see the Team Rocket owner possibly in the background there as well. Got the R on his shirt. Vileplume. And the cards in this set really do reflect like what you expect Team Rocket to have. You know, you've got the poison types with the Weezing here, the Golbat, the Arbok that Team Rocket used within the first Pokemon game, the Red and Blue games, and then also throughout the anime. James had Weezing, Jesse had Arbok. And then here's another really cool card is the Here Comes Team Rocket, where you actually have Jesse, James, and Meowth, the characters from the anime pictured in the artwork of the card, and then the Rocket logo here. So this is a really cool card, I think, just because it's directly from the anime, which, Pokemon doesn't really do a whole lot of cards printed from the anime, or not during the Wizards of the Coast era anyway. And then the Rocket Sneak Attack. The Rainbow Energy here. Interesting. Almost looks like the old style imaging for the Atom back in the day before it got updated. And then the Secret Rare Dark Raichu. And this was the first secret rare to be released in the Wizards of the Coast Pokemon cards. You can see that it is a 83 out of 82, so it is part of the secret rare. And then for Japanese, this is actually printed back in, or way later on in the set. So it was printed in Neo 2 or Neo 3, I believe. And so I guess Wizards of the Coast decided to move it up. Instead of printing it in the Neo series, that already had a bunch of holos. They decided to make it a secret rare within the Rocket set. And then just to go over a little more, I've got also here the commons and uncommons. Just to kind of go over these real quick and just really show that a lot of these artworks, not just the holofoils, are quite good actually on these Rocket set cards. So then the Dark Vaporeon here, Dark Rapidash, Dark Jolteon, Dark Golduck. I mean, look at the artwork on that Golduck with the Psychic Blast coming from his third eye there, and just creating waves within the water. Just really good artwork. I would have loved to seen this be a holo. And then Dark Flareon. So you got all three of the evolutions in here. Electro, Charmeleon. That Charmeleon art looks pretty sick. This also comes in a Wizards of the Coast W stamp card as well. The Dragonair, this is pretty cool too. The crystals really go well with Dragonair, and that lightning storm in the background. Gloom, Kadabra, Machoke, Muck, Persian, Primate, Dark War Turtle being smug there. And then these are just all non-dark, but just the basics of the Pokemon. So they took off the dark and just made the name. So Magikarp, Porygon. The Boss's Way, so here you got a picture of Giovanni. Challenge here, where you've got multiple Pokemon. The tough guys, you would think. So that's pretty cool artwork as well in this one. And it's a trainer card. Digger, Imposter, Oak. So that's pretty cool too. The evil Professor Oak. An Energy, Voltorb here, Zubat, Squirtle. That Squirtle artwork's pretty good. Ponyta, Eevee, cute little Eevee, Grimer. And then here's one I wanted to talk about real quick, is this Grimer artwork, because this is actually a censored card for the English print. In the Japanese print, it's very mild to see. You just look at its face value, it looks exactly the same, but the eyes are different. The pupil for the eyes on the Japanese version is looking up, and possibly looking up into the girl's skirt that's walking by. And so during the English printing, they just moved the pupils of the eyes slightly so that they'd be looking forward and not up. So that was an interesting little censorship that was done, and it's very hardly noticeable, but it is quite well known. Then you got Abra, Charmander, Eradicate there, Diglett, Dratini, Drowsy, Ekans, Coughing, Machop, Magnemite, Mankey, Meowth, Oddish, Psyduck, Rattata, Slowpoke, Goop Gas Attack, some more poison stuff to go with Team Rocket. Sleep, Coughing, more energies. I think I went through these. Yeah, there was a couple of duplicates there. So that's just to really showcase kind of the Rocket set, and kind of unfortunate how undervalued it is, and kind of underappreciated it can be. But in the good sense, that is anyway, that people that are looking to pick up Pokemon cards on a budget, Rocket set's not too bad to go. You can get a lot of really cool looking cards and really good artworks for not as expensive values as, let's say, like Fossil and Jungle. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching.